in their project management journey. And I also want to introduce Allison Dewey, who will be viewing today's presentation. She's one of our customer success managers here. Allison, I don't know if you want to go ahead and say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And I do want to point out the session will be recorded and sent out afterwards, but we do love an interactive audience. And if you have any questions throughout the presentation, feel free to raise your hand or drop a question into the chat. A quick overview on how we're going to structure today's session. I'll quickly go through an introduction to Marque360 and the work we do and how we can support your team. And then we'll provide some background on Planner before jumping into the Power BI report pack, which is the focus today. And okay, a little bit about Marque360. So we're a Microsoft Gold partner for work management and Microsoft 365 cloud solutions. So what that means is we've been recognized by Microsoft as a trusted partner to work side by side with their team in supporting their customers throughout their Microsoft investment. And we focus on the Office 365 applications such as Planner and Teams, as well as Power Platform with tools like Power Apps, Power Automate, and of course, Power BI. Our founders actually are previous Microsoft employees, so they've been in the work management space for over 20 years and have seen all the iterations of Microsoft's project management tools from Project Server to Project Online and more recently Planner, which is where Microsoft is shifting all of their focus for work management. The work that we do here focuses on 3 areas for success. We are working very closely with the Microsoft technology and product teams during their development process to ensure we're up to date with the latest technologies and advancements, making sure our customers receive those updates quickly and effectively. And the Power Platform is really where Microsoft is focusing a lot of their new technology and upgrades to give you that low code, no code solution and allow you to take some development into your own internal teams rather than having to rely on custom coding. We also act as your trusted advisor throughout your work management journey, providing in-depth conversations around requirements, implementation, and design post-deployment to make sure your team has everything they need to be successful. All right, and I'll go ahead and pass it over to Allison.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Hello, everyone. Just as Charlene said, certainly if you have questions, I'm looking at a couple different screens, so feel free to come off mic and interrupt me. You can drop something in the chat. It just might take me a few minutes to realize unless Charlene or Aaron, who's also here with us, just brings it to my attention. But welcome. So go ahead and move to the next slide. Because before we talk about Planner and this report pack, we did want to take a moment to make sure you're aware, in the event it is applicable to you, that Microsoft did make an announcement 2, maybe 3 weeks ago that one of their applications, Project Online, is going to be reaching end of life. The date that we have is September 30th of 2026, and they will be turning the solution off. So there are 2 paths forward that Marquee is certainly able to support as part of any transition that needs to take place. One option is to make the move to Planner. Now, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but Planner is really, its sweet spot is task management. Those using Project Online typically are using more enterprise project management feature sets. And so we have a solution called PPM360 that integrates with Planner. And that PPM360 solution brings those enterprise or PMO sought feature sets into the solution. So you can see on the slide, we do have a feature comparison. So that's one option. The other option is to basically bring Project Online in-house, adopting the Project Server subscription. So you could bring that in-house into a local server. You could also host it in Azure. And that's another transition that we could support. You'll see on this slide, we have listed in the event you elect to go from Project Online to Planner. We actually have built a tool to accelerate that. We call that Marque360. Project Server, moving that in-house, it's a different approach, but again, something we could assist with. So if you are a Project Online user, if your organization is, and you have questions or you want to talk about this, feel free to reach out to Charlene, myself, go to our website. We have a contact us form there, and we can continue the conversation. So next slide, please. And the other thing we just want to make sure you're not confused by, so the retirement of Project Online is not going to retire Project Professional, that desktop application that a lot of project managers, we've all been using it for a very long time. That is not going away. Unfortunately, though, its native capability does not include working with planner-defined projects. So again, Marque360 has built a solution for that called Sync360, which supports bidirectional synchronization between that project desktop utility and Planner. So if you're already using Planner, if you are anticipating a move to Planner and you have individuals that are using that tool, again, feel free to reach out to us and we can actually provide a demonstration of that tool so you can see what it looks like. Next slide. All right, so Planner. I'm assuming most of you are here because you are using it, but I'm just going to quickly, kind of just orient everyone. So we used to have 3 separate apps. We used to have Microsoft To Do for your the management of kind of your personal workload, right? Creating private tasks. Then there was Planner. That core functionality still exists as what are called basic plans. And then there was Project for the Web, something that retired about beginning of August, but it didn't really go away. It's just now within Planner, you have the ability to create premium plans. That is the Project for the Web service. So next slide, please, Charlene. Right, so now we have simply the Planner app. Making it possible for you to manage all of your work in that one place. It is flexible, supporting the way you want to work. So if you want to keep it simple, great. If you're managing a project using like predictive practices or agile practices or some sort of hybrid, Planner can support that. And also it's scalable. So whether you're managing big projects or smaller initiatives, this tool can be used to support either. And now where we're seeing Microsoft actually do quite a bit of product development is in the AI space. So Planner is becoming intelligent. If you happen to have the Microsoft 365 Copilot add-in and appropriate Planner licensing, you get this project manager agent that can accelerate outcomes. So that is, quote unquote, the new Planner. Usually when we're talking about all those different feature sets, we do get asked some licensing questions. So we did include this. We're not licensing specialists, but we can help clarify for you that with your Microsoft 365 account only, so that might be an E3 license, or if anyone is joining us from a government entity, that could be your G1 license. Those users, you're going to have that My Day, My Tasks, My Plans. You're going to be able to create those basic plans. You won't be able to create premium plans, but you will be able to interact with them. So perhaps you have project managers with elevated licensing creating premium plans, and then those that are assigned, it's okay if they only have a Microsoft 365 account. They'll be able to update their percent complete. They'll be able to add notes and participate in the task conversations when that plan is integrated with Teams. They won't be able to interact with that project manager agent, but they'll be able to view, what it has generated. Planner Plan 1 and Planner and Project Plan 3 license people. So that those are elevated licensing. So that would be in addition to that Microsoft 365 license. You can see that they have everything pretty much the same, except then when we get to premium plans. So with the Planner Plan 1 and that Plan 3, both have the ability to create premium plans. The Planner Plan 1 folks are going to have most of the features. An example is they can create task dependencies, but they can't create advanced task dependencies, meaning they can't specify like a lead time or a lag time. They also wouldn't have the ability to create a baseline or the ability to view a critical path, while the Plan 3 users do. Right. And then both of those would have the ability to interact with that project manager agent, assuming that they had that Microsoft 365 Copilot licensing. So just wanted to put that out there to hopefully help people understand what they get with what. Charlene, next slide. Thank you. Did we have, if anyone is here that does have a government, is in a government tenant, there are some nuances in the functionality. So later on, when we're kind of working through screens, if you're seeing something that I'm showing and you don't have it, that might be part of the nuance. If you have questions about that, you could stay online afterwards. We have a slide that quickly highlights some of those differences. All right, so the Planner Report Pack developed by Marque360. So this is a Power BI report pack. Why did we create it? So as I mentioned earlier, Planner is really great for task management. Then our solution, PPM 360, is really more about enterprise project management. So, capturing risks, taking care of issues, managing teams of resources, right? In the event you're not ready or don't really have a need for that PPM 360 feature set, the problem with being on Planner is your ability to analyze and gain insight is pretty limited. When we start looking at Planner, you'll see that, sure, we have charts, but that's specific to that one project. Sure, we can create a portfolio. It doesn't really tell us much. So that is why we went ahead and created this Planner report pack. Next slide, Charlene. So what it consists of is 7 ready-to-use Power BI reports, which will give you insight into workloads and timelines and progress. It is, as I said, ready to go, so it's pre-built, and the data it works with, though, is premium plan data, because typically it seems we see that basic plans are used for kind of usually small scale, maybe interdepartment initiatives, while the premium plans are typically used for more significant initiatives that normally would roll up into perhaps enterprise programs and portfolios. So this report pack is going to work against premium plan data in your default Microsoft 365 tenant. So I'm going to just take over the screen here, get my little cheat sheet of things I want to cover. All right, so hopefully everyone is seeing my screen. Again, just wanted to quickly review some of the basics of Planner just to get everyone oriented. So right now I'm in Planner for the web. I'm in my browser. You can see right now I'm looking at my day. If I pop this out, there is that my tasks and my plans that everyone has access to if you just have a Microsoft 365 account. The My Portfolios is something that you would only see if you have that elevated Planner licensing. Now, again, I'm using right now Planner for the web, but I prefer to use Planner in the context of Teams. So let me move this over here. So you have the ability to add to your left app nav bar the ability to quickly get into Planner and open a particular plan. So what I have here is just a basic plan because I wanted to just be sure you're aware of the differences. So when we come into a basic plan, we automatically are brought into this board view. Which we can group by a number of characteristics. Right now, it's grouped by bucket because with basic plans, we do have the ability to create buckets. These can be whatever we want. Could be a focus of the week where each bucket is a different weekday. In this case, it looks like we have a bit of a backlog and we're kind of pulling that. It's kind of like flow-based management. I can also change the grouping of this, right, like this. So have that in our basic plans. We also have the grid view. And here we're seeing we can't really add or we can't change what we're seeing here. So we've got our tasks. This is nice, right? The quick look lets us know that's within the context of this task. There's some notes, there's a conversation, there are some checklist items. I also want to call out, we do have the ability to filter. Filters are sticky, meaning that if I put this filter here and I navigate a different view, that filter is going to remain intact. Let's look at the other details we have the ability to manage when we just are working with a basic plan. So obviously a task name, the ability to assign a task to one or more individuals. We can create and apply labels just to help us further visualize certain characteristics of our tasks. We have the ability to put our tasks in buckets. As far as tracking progress, it's just going to be a matter of whether the task is in progress or completed. We can specify the priority, start dates, due dates. What's interesting is in basic plans, we can create reoccurring tasks. We can't do that in a premium plan. So that is something that is limited to a basic plan. Then we have the ability to create notes where we can add, completely write over, the checklists, the ability to add an attachment, and then when our plans are integrated with Microsoft Teams, we get this threaded task conversation, and that thread is visible right within the context of the task. Let's just take a quick look at plan details. So you'll see that we can actually create a basic plan and kind of have that be a sort of template and reuse that plan. We do have the ability to obviously give individuals link to our plan, export it to Excel if you want to do some analysis, but with our report pack and the premium plans, you wouldn't need to do that. And then this is one of those features that I think if you're in a government tenant, you may not have the ability to actually put this plan on your calendar. The one fun thing about basic plans is we can also apply backgrounds to our plan if we want. Sometimes that can help just keeping straight, like which plan are we looking at in the event that we have quite a few. Just wanted to go back up here. So the other thing with basic plans, you're going to have your schedule view. And these are the charts that you get. So again, it's pretty limited. So only specific to this plan can I see the status of my tasks, how they're distributed across buckets, how they are as far as priorities, and then how they are distributed across the team and what the status is. So again, I can only see that within the context of this one plan. Right. I did mention Teams integration. So that plan we were just looking at. So I've just switched to Teams and I'm in this Dewey Philly team on my general channel and I have provided access, right? There's that pretty color to this. So let's just take a quick look at a premium plan just to understand how that differs. And again, these are the type of plans that our report pack will run against. So still have that board view. The difference is I have a couple of additional things I can group by, because with a premium plan, we can define goals and then associate tasks with goals. In the event you want to work in the context of Scrum, we can switch to this and we can maintain a backlog and organize sprints. So like I said, a couple of different ways to group this board. In buckets, you'll notice we can color code our buckets in the event that that is helpful. You have that option. That's something you don't have in basic plans. And then in my grid view, here's a couple of extra things. So baseline, right? So with a premium plan, we can establish a baseline. In our premium plans, we can conditionally color fields. So I, for example, said, hey, if I have a task where the duration is less than 5 days, highlight it in blue. And you can see I've got a lot to scroll through here. That's because with premium plans, we have the ability to add custom columns, and then we have a lot more fields that we're capturing as part of those task details. The custom column in this case is advisor. So let's look at the task details. I can just scroll back here to the left. I'll open up this. All right, so in a premium plan, first thing you get is you actually have the ability to review task history. So if there had been any changes in this class or in this task, you would have seen them. And then let's just see how this compares. So very similar to basic plans, you have your task name, the ability to assign it to multiple individuals, the ability to create and apply labels. The note field is a little smaller, but it serves the same context. Start instead of do, this reads finish. Now you'll see we have a little bit more than just is this in progress. We can actually specify a duration, and then we can indicate progress either by % complete, or if you come down here, you see we can actually specify how many hours of effort does this particular task require, and how many, how much of that effort has maybe been completed. You'll see up here, in addition to the bucket, we have the ability to associate it with a sprint. If you do take advantage of custom fields, that'll immediately be available to you on this plan in the plan details pane. So here is my advisor. Task conversation. So remember in basic it said comments, but here we actually get a little pop out over here. And what happens is when we're commenting here, it's also being part of the team post. So individuals don't need to necessarily go into the task, open it, and review the comments. They can see it from, I like to call them windows. There are different ways to access that information. Okay. Just a couple more things about these premium plans. So I already highlighted that we can create goals, but instead of a schedule, we have a timeline. And because we have the ability to create those dependencies and whatnot, if I scroll to an appropriate time here, you'll see that Gantt chart style presentation that many of you may be familiar with. So we do get that when we have that elevated planner licensing. I'm going to skip reports for a minute. Charts, they're just as limited within the premium plans as they are within the basic plans. So it's the exact same metrics, again, limited to this particular project. And then we have the ability to view how work is assigned to the people on our team. And we can also look at assignments either grouped by resources or grouped by tasks. And we can pretty granularly, divvy out that effort if we choose to. You might be excited, like, well, hey, reports is right here. So this report is actually, it's specific to project status reports. It is a project manager agent capability. So you're going to have this if you have that Microsoft 365 Copilot add-on licensing, and if Loop has been enabled for the Microsoft 365 subscription. So again, this is limited to this project. Sure, it's great. It's going to help me generate a project status report, but it's not going to give me that insight and ability to facilitate any sort of analytics. The last item I'll call out before actually showcasing the planner report back is that when we have that elevated licensing, in addition to this My Day, My Task, My Plans, you do get My Portfolios. So I've created a portfolio here called Contoso County. And I've added a few plans to that. And this is pretty much what I get as a result of doing that. I can see for this subset of plans how things are progressing, general start and end dates, and the status. I can also look at a roadmap, but I have to manually add to this, which tasks do I want to include if I want to add any milestones. So nice, but still, if I wanted to quickly see like all the projects for a particular plan owner, that's a pretty labor-intensive effort. So let's take a look at the report pack. I'll pause real quick. Do we have any questions? I don't think so. I don't see any hands raised. Let me just check in chat. Nope, we're good. Okay. So our planner report back, as I said, 7 pre-built visualizations. So in the event you're not familiar with kind of this Power BI UI, over here, I do have the ability to filter this information. Right now, I'm just seeing projects where Aaron is the owner. I'm going to go ahead and clear that just so you can see. So in this case, in our demo environment, these are all the plans that we have defined. So I can quickly see what the count is by plan owner, where they fall in terms of status, whether or not they're in progress or have not begun, and then some of that key information, start dates, the status, the duration, the percent of complete, and also what the total effort is and how that breaks out as far as what's been completed and what remains. The next report that we have is a planner timeline. So again, I could filter this down to just one owner or just showing me plans that start in a particular, actually, I can do this where I can say, show me where it starts on a specific date, or with advanced filtering, we can do things like, where it's on or after and do something like that. Right now, we have it filtered to projects where they are finishing within the current year. So these are grouped by the plan owners. And you'll see if we hover over, this is in QA at the moment, so I just wanted to highlight. So what we're seeing here is the name of the plan owner. This says task. That should really read plan. This is the 1024 UAT incidence plan. We can see when it started and when it ends and how far it is as far as percent complete. I can also use this slicer up here in order to further, of course, I don't know good time range to select. Let's do this, December. There we go. So I could say, okay, of all of this data, I'm just interested in seeing the projects that are expected to end come December. So that is our project timeline report. Then we have milestones. So just a reminder that in Planner, if we enter a task that has a duration of 0, that is considered a milestone. So this report reads that data. Again, we can filter by either the name, and this is also, you can pick multiple projects. So, it's just not, you can actually pick several. If you were to use some sort of naming convention for your projects, you could probably use advanced filtering and say, begins with, and use that particular prefix. So that would be another way to filter this information. And so this is just showing us any milestones that completed within the last 30 days, as well as milestones that are upcoming in the next 30 days. Another thing, in the event you're not familiar with Power BI, when we click on certain elements, you'll see it filters all the other visuals on the report. So this is responsive to what you're looking to investigate. Here we have project timeline. So in this case, we see the projects, and when this is expanded, these are all the tasks. And that allows us to see the projects. Do I have this filtered? I do. Let's take this off. There we go. So now I can see all of the plans in our environment and how they compare to one another on a timeline. Again, I have that slicer where if I wanted to just see particular plans that are expected to complete by a certain time, I can do that. I can change the scope of these type of slicers. You'll see right now it's by month. We could take that out to week or day.
Hey, Allison, there are a couple questions in the chat.
Thank you.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, from a portfolio view, can we see across multiple PMs to see all projects in the Planner Premium view? Yes, so you're actually talking about native Planner functionality, correct? So you would have to, first of all, you would need to be a member of those plans, right? So they have to make sure that you are allowed to view the plans. And then you would come in here and you could create a new portfolio. And then you would actually, as I did here, then you would actually have to manually go in and find those plans. And you can see we can't search them by PM. So can you do it? Yes. So it depends on how big your project, I guess your project team is. Lori, I hope that answered your question. If not, just feel free to speak or add more to the chat.
No, it's great. Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome. Let's see, I'm going to assume that's Janine. How this works with MS Project. Are we able to enter our data in Project and it feeds into Planner? So yes, so with that sync tool that we have, you can do work in Project Professional. That work would then get synchronized back to the premium plans. They would have sister brother premium plans in Planner. And so the project managers could keep the plan data updated with Project Professional. And then if you wanted to use this report pack, it could then report against the data that is inevitably in the Dataverse. So if you have a little bit more interest in that and would like to see how it works, we can schedule a separate demo. Yes, Lori.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that same thing. Do you need to have a specific license to be able to do that? Or when you purchase or use that sync tool, is it relevant to one person, or can it be, because some people may want to stick in project.
Yep.
I'm finding in my organization, and some are willing to move to Planner, but I want to do the portfolio view. So I want all of it in Planner so I can see the portfolio view, right?
Yep. So in either of those cases, I believe, they would all need that plan 1 or higher license so they could have those premium plans. But then for anyone that's like, I don't want to give up that Project Pro desktop tool, the Sync is a subscription-based license, so it's per user. So you could license, the 3 that are like, I'm not giving up Project Professional, but then the other 10 that are fine with using Planner, they would not need to pay for that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Janine, I hope I answered your question.
You did, thank you.
You're
Can I
welcome.
ask a follow-up question based off of Lori's with the portfolio view?
Sure.
So if I'm the main PM for my team, but I'm creating like the projects for them, would I then need to, I would be able to create a portfolio view for all of the projects on our
Yes.
team essentially?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
like
would
if
just
you're,
then add myself to all of their projects.
well, even you just mentioned that you create the plan, so you're already the
Yes.
plan owner. So that step's taken care of as soon as you create the plan. So you
Okay.
would just, your process would be create a plan, come back to the portfolio view and add it to the portfolio.
And then if I need the team members to be able to access it, then I'm essentially adding them
Right, so
on.
you see that up here. So I'm right now in this portfolio view and I have the option to share. So I would need, if I wanted them to be able to view this, I would need to make sure that they were defined as, a member of this particular group so that they could see this. Also be mindful that anyone on the team that is just, if you had any that people that are just basic users, they will be able to see this, but like if they start to dig down, their view is going to be a little bit more limited.
Okay. So it's kind of similar because we use Project Online. So it's kind of similar to Project Online now then essentially.
Yes, it's just going to be a lot of manual work for you to come and do this, but you can.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we're suggesting. So what were we just looking at here? This is like your portfolio view. So trying to think which one of these is most, this is kind of, so right now I have this filtered by Aaron. Where is my filter? Oh, you know what? I filtered it by the slice, right? So here, instead of having to go in and do that, it's just happening automatically. So as plans are being added, they're just automatically going to show up here. I don't have to build that portfolio. I don't have to go through that exercise if I have this report pack.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe I wasn't clear on that. So with this, as people in the organization are creating premium plans, yeah, no one needs to go into Planner and create a portfolio. They could just come in here and see this. And maybe if, we just wanted to see, hey, what has, Aaron been doing, we could quickly filter that down. As I mentioned, in a couple places, we have it on the name of the plan. We can't tap into the portfolio data from Planner. So that's why I said if you were to follow some sort of naming convention where plans have certain prefixes, we could add a filter so that you could, filter by plan or project name where begins with and that prefix. But also, and we'll talk about this, this is a base implementation. If you have some unique needs or you're wondering about automations and things of that nature, because this is a Power Platform solution, we certainly could talk about customizations, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think I was on the project timeline. And then we were hopping into task overview. So this is going to show you, so in this case, I do have it filtered down to a single project. And so with this project, I can see there's a total of 16 tasks. how many of those are completed, how many are overdue, the total effort of the project and how much of that has been completed and remains. You'll see I have a couple of other visualizations. These might be a little bit prettier if I take this filter off. So here I can see how projects are based on status. Same thing, you know, if I filter on things, that's going to impact the overall presentation. And then down here, we just have some of that KPI, how they are as far as if they're on track or are they late. And then the individual efforts and whatnot. If we click on the link, that would actually open up Planner for the web, and we would then immediately be within that the task details of that project. We have two more. So the resource dashboard. So here we can see, you know, across all of these plans, we're involving 54 resources. You can see we've got a lot of tasks that haven't started. Again, this is a pretty messy demo environment. But these, you know, we have these different visualizations. Let's see, maybe I will filter this by, what happens if I filter it by me? I think, Erin, you have me on some things. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's get back to where I was. There I am. Okay. So, and this, yes, see, I'm awful. I've got 1,276 tasks not started. But anyway, so you can see, right, we can see how the resources span our different projects. And then the last one we have is a resource assignment. And this assumes a 40-hour work week in our base deployment. And so what's nice about this is right now do I have this filtered on just this month? I'll take this off just so we can kind of explore this a little bit. So here, so we've got the resource and projects and the tasks and the start and the finish. And what I can do here is see where, hey, I can't take on any more work. I'm at my maximum, but oh, hey, on this date, it looks like I have some bandwidth. So this could be helpful for just balancing resource allocation, restructuring of task assignments. You'll see that we have it organized by year, by quarter, by month, and then these are actually week start dates. And then we have that ability to once again slice the data based on quarter, month, week, what have you. Okay. All right, let me just return to our PowerPoint presentation. Unless there are, does anyone have any questions about what I just shared? Right. All right, so that's everything we just worked through. So the planner report pack, what it would include is those 7 reports along with setup and configuration. Again, this is a Power Platform solution. So in the event you wanted to add any sort of automation, or if we wanted to customize elements like titles, perhaps even filters, we could certainly explore that and add that to a scope for an additional cost. What is required to use this? Again, These reports read the premium plan data, so users would need that Planner Plan 1 at a minimum to generate premium plans. And then anyone that wants to interact with these reports would need Power BI professional licensing. If you want to limit that to just a few individuals within Power BI, we do have the ability to execute a report, export it as a PDF, or export it for a PowerPoint presentation, and then you could certainly, upload that as a team post, or embed that in a presentation that you will be giving to a greater audience. And then these are just everything we just reviewed. So thank you. I guess I would say next steps are if any of you are here because you were aware of the project online end of life, or maybe you were already thinking about a transition. If you have questions, want to figure out what might be the best path forward for you, please connect with us. Sounds like we do have a couple of organizations where PMs or project leads are using Project Professional, that desktop tool, and don't want to lose that in the event the organization is looking to using Planner. So again, reach out to us. We could demonstrate that sync utility so you can see how it works and if it would be a good fit for you. Otherwise, if you're already using Planner, people are using the Planner Premium, or a license in that way, and you wish you could see some of this type of data across all of those. Again, we have this solution and would love to talk to you about it. So that's another reason to reach out to either Charlene or myself or visit our website. And otherwise, I'll stay on for a little bit if anybody has any questions, but thank you for joining us. You're welcome.
Thanks, Allison.
You're welcome, Erin.
Thanks,
Have a good rest
Allison.
of your
Great job.
afternoon.
All right, take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.